just letting you guys know you can listen to my No Bleeps podcast anywhere you stream podcasts or on my No Bleeps YouTube channel. Link in the description. Hey guys, it's Billy and welcome back to Spill Sesh. I'm on the struggle bus with food poisoning, but the tea is hot and we have got to get into what has been going on with Tana and Trisha Paytas. Oh my gosh. So Tana finally released her episode of her canceled podcast with Trisha Paytas, and everybody has been waiting for this episode because we're talking about Tana and Trisha. This is obviously going to be a very insane episode. And they basically start off by saying that the two of them are cockroaches of the internet. Nobody can possibly ever cancel them. And they are complimenting each other up and down. Tana is saying that Trisha is an icon. And Trisha is saying that she wishes that she was Tana when she was younger. Like all of this stuff. They are basically just hyping each other up. And they talk about how everyone is under the impression that the two of them don't get along. But they've never really gotten the chance to truly sit down and talk to each other. And this is like the first time they're really getting to have that conversation. And so they get right into the tea. They talked about Jordan, who is Tana's former manager. We saw him on her MTV show. He was a big part in taking care of her during that entire show. And everybody thought that Jordan was so amazing. So when she fired him and stopped working with him, a lot of people were really, really shook. And she never really came out and spoke about what happened between her and Jordan. She just like randomly switched management one day and posted it on Instagram that she signed with somebody new. And that was all she really ever said. And funny enough, Trisha Paytas was also signed to Jordan for a little bit, and he was even Trisha's co-host on their podcast for a short period of time before Frenemies was ever a thing, and Trisha was just doing Dish with Trish. Trisha seemed really curious to know kind of what went down, as a lot of people have been. And Tana says that she was in a really bad place mentally before switching management, and that she's in such a better place now mentally and professionally. And I mean, it's very clear. We have seen that Tana, when she was on her MTV show, she like always showed up late. People hated working with her because she was never on time to anything. And she even admitted that, you know, with this new management, if she hadn't had switched, she probably like wouldn't even care, wouldn't have shown up to interview Trisha, like nothing like that. But now she's trying to be more professional. And later on in the episode, Trisha asked Tana why she got rid of Jordan, and Tana didn't really want to answer the question, but just said that she had a question for Trisha and asks, "Are we both owed money?" And they both declined to answer. And Tana says, "We love professional managers," and complimented her current management. She says, "Sometimes you outgrow people." She was with Jordan for 6 to 7 years. She learned a lot. He was a big part of her life. She grew up and realized what she really needed, and it was just a different relationship, and she wishes him the best. And she says that her lawyers came in and basically started yelling, and she had to move on from the subject because she was saying too much. So that is pretty much the Jordan tea portion of this episode. Then they talk about Shane Dawson. And Tana says that she never even talks about Shane anymore. Tana says that that time in her life was very interesting. And we all know that over the last couple of months and honestly the past year, where Shane has been off of the internet and all of this stuff has been resurfaced from his past, there were moments where Tana was liking tweets talking about how inappropriate some of the videos that she had made with Shane Dawson were, and how they were just not okay. And it was really upsetting to see that she was made to think that those videos were funny and those videos were okay, when in reality they were not, and people find them extremely disturbing. And people felt like she was speaking out a little bit by liking tweets like this and agreeing with tweets like this, and that was kind of her way of speaking out against Shane Dawson. Trisha even brings up the video where Tana literally tinkled on Shane. That's like the PG version of what I can say. You know, she did a #1 on his shirt in a video where she was like freshly 18, and Tana says that Shane was her idol at the time, and Trisha says that that video is not on Tana. That's on Shane, because she was just so young. She was like freshly 18, and that's on the adult in the situation for thinking that a video like that would even remotely be okay. And obviously we know how Trisha feels about Shane, especially in the more recent times where the two of them are no longer friends. And while they're talking about this, Tana says that she feels like she can't really cancel someone because she does get into so many scandals that she feels like people won't take her seriously. And Trisha tries to tell her that she totally can and has a right to speak up, and they talked about someone who might have a reputation of being flirty and promiscuous not being taken seriously when they come out about something and how wrong that really is. And then, you guys, this story literally makes me sick. It's upsetting, and I just can't even freaking believe it. Like, this is like the wackest thing that could have possibly be heard from this podcast. But Tana then drops this bomb of information that has to do with none other than Trisha's favorite person, Gabbie Hanna. Tana tells a story that she has never talked about before on literally any platform, and says that this whole situation that she's about to say is totally effed up. But basically, years ago at a YouTube convention, she was like about 17, 18. She says she couldn't remember how old she was. And there was like an older guy that had been a little flirty and weird. And the whole encounter, she said, was weird. She says that they're friends now, and she's not trying to say that what happened was right, but she's saying that she feels like nothing bad actually happened, but the situation itself, like when you look at it, it's not good. But she never came out and said anything publicly about this person. But recently, she says literally a couple weeks ago, she gets a phone call of somebody saying that Gabbie Hanna was allegedly trying to sell them that this YouTuber hooked up with Tana, and Tana was like, this is so insane to me. Like, what if there was something that was traumatic for me? You guys, like, do you understand what this is saying? Like, this is crazy. Tana's basically saying that she got a phone call from somebody that was saying, like, Gabbie Hanna is trying to sell this story about something that happened to you when you were younger. Like, what? Sell? This literally is so insane to me, you guys. Tana is literally speaking about this, like this guy was wrong for trying to flirt with her, but says like nothing ever happened. You know, she's saying that Gabbie's trying to sell the story that they hooked up. And I just have a lot to say. I mean, first off, why is Gabbie allegedly trying to sell the story? Like, sell? Like, you want to profit from this? And that would be horrible. I hope it's not true. Like, you know, Tana is saying that she got this phone call, but I wasn't present for this. So I'm just like, I hope it's not true. This is allegedly something that Tana is talking about. And I really hope it's not true. I hope that Gabbie wouldn't do this. I hope that this is all a big misunderstanding and the reporter got it wrong or something. But that would just honestly be so horrible. And the other thing is, like, why not speak up about it at the time? Unless, like, Gabbie just learned about this information. The whole thing is, like, so sketchy to me. And it's just, like, at a time like this, like, years later, this is just so extremely weird. And it's also just, like, why would you want to, like, speak for Tana in a situation like this? Like, maybe go to Tana and say, hey, I heard about this. Like, are you okay? Or talk about it with her before going to the press. Like, that just seems really weird to go behind someone and, like, tell the press all about their information or something that you heard about them. That's like so deeply personal. And Trisha is like, that is gross. Like, that is gross. And Tana says that this phone call happened after Gabbie was called out for being a nightmare to work with on Escape the Night. And Tana had liked a shady tweet against Gabbie that Joey Graceffa had tweeted. And that's when she coincidentally got this phone call about Gabbie trying to allegedly sell this story about her to the press. And Trisha is like, Gabbie is vile. Because obviously the two of them have a lot of beef. And Trisha says that the first thing they and Tana bonded over was literally the fact that Gabbie was the person that they both disliked. They both had that in common. And Tana says that Gabbie and her are very different people. The only thing they have in common was the content that they made. They made story times. And Tana starts talking about how it was on Escape the Night. And Tana admits that herself, like, she herself was really bad. She was always late to set and didn't really care that much to be there, but says like she does remember Gabbie being bad and crying to Joey about how she didn't get along with her. And Tana says that they did have some good moments on set. Like, they were friendly at times to each other, but she never wanted to come out and talk about the past with Gabbie because she said that she was like so scared of getting called out. And she says that, you know, she's not gonna lie. She said like her and Gabbie were friendly, like they were friends, and she was scared like if she had said anything, Gabbie would like pull up text messages from them in 2015 and be like, we were friends, like why are you saying these bad things about me? But Tana says, not gonna lie, there is truth to what has been said about her on the set of Escape the Night and her behavior. And they then talked about how Gabbie blames things on ADHD and Tana has ADHD, and Trisha was like, Tana isn't out here talking about other people's traumas, making these videos. She's always been super nice, and Gabbie basically has no excuse. So that was pretty much like the craziest tea that was in the podcast. I mean, you guys, like, just hearing about that, I really hope it's not true. It would just be like, just not good. It's not a good look. And I definitely want to know what you guys think about the podcast that Tana and Trisha did together. Let me know in the comments down below. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.